Imagine for a moment that you're standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The waves crash against the shore, rhythmic and constant. Now ask yourself, do you see boundaries or do you see possibilities? Do you see an obstacle or an opportunity for exploration? The way you answer this question is a reflection of how you view the world around you. And let me tell you something profound. The way you look at things determines how those things affect your life. You see, perception is reality. What you believe shapes what you achieve. And today, I want to challenge you to change the way you look at things. Because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. We start with a simple truth. Life is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. It's your interpretation that gives it meaning. The same rain that ruins a picnic nourishes a dying crop. The same wind that capsizes a boat fills the sails of night. The difference, perspective. Yeah, I want you to think about your life right now. What challenges are you facing? What obstacles seem insurmountable? I want you to pause for a moment and consider, what if these aren't problems, but opportunities in disguise? But not every setback is actually a setup for a comeback. You see, success is not about avoiding problems, not changing how you see them. It's about developing the mindset that every problem comes bearing its own solution. The question is, are you looking for it? Let me share a story with you. Back in my day, I knew a young man who lost his job during an economic downturn. He had a family to support, bills to pay, and dreams that seemed to be slipping away. But instead of seeing this as the end, he chose to see it as the beginning. He used his severance pay to start a small business. Today, that business employs hundreds of people and operates in multiple countries. What changed? Well, I see life always through curveball. The economy will fluctuate. Technology will disrupt industries. Relationships will face challenges. But remember that's not what happens to you. It determines your future. It depends on you respond to what happens. So how do we change the way we look at things? Let me give you 3 key principles. To certainty. Most people fear the unknown. They cling to the familiar, even if it's unfulfilling. But growth happens outside your comfort zone. Uncertainty is not your enemy. It's the birthplace of possibility. When you embrace uncertainty, you open yourself up to new opportunities, new ideas, and new paths to success. Innocent in every experience, the best in all teacher. But I disagree. Evaluated experience is the best teacher. It's not enough to go through experiences. You must grow through them. Every setback, every failure, every disappointment carries within it a lesson. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. If you constantly focus on problems, you'll find more problems. But when you train your mind to focus on solutions, you become a problem solver, an innovator, a creator of your own destiny. But now, let's talk about perspective in the context of goals and dreams. Many people look at their dreams and see impossibilities. They see all the reasons why they can't achieve them. But I want to challenge you today. What if you looked at dream differently? What if, instead of seeing obstacles, you saw stepping stones? You see every great achievement in history started out as an impossible dream. The airplane, the computer, space travel, all these were once considered impossible. But someone dared to look at them differently. They didn't see impossibility. They saw opportunity. They didn't ask why. What dreams have you given up on because they seemed impossible? What goals have you abandoned because the path wasn't clear? It's time to dust off those dreams. It's time to look at them with new eyes. Remember, the size of your success is determined by the size of your belief. If you believe something is impossible, you'll never attempt it. But if you believe it's possible, you'll find a way to make it happen. Let's talk about failure for a moment. Most people look at failure as the opposite of success. But what if I told you that failure is actually a crucial part of success? What if failure isn't something to be avoided, but something to be embraced? We'll see. Failure is not the end. It's not even the opposite of success. Failure is the tuition you pay for success. It's the price of your education in the real world. Every time you fail, you learn, you grow, you get stronger, and you get closer to your goals. I want you to change the way you look at failure. Don't see it as a reason to give up. See it as a reason to push harder. Don't see it as proof that you're not good enough. See it as evidence that you're growing, that you're pushing your boundaries, that you're on the path to greatness. Now let's talk about relationship. How we view others profoundly impacts how we interact with them. Many people look at relationships as transactions. They ask, what can this person do for me? But what if we change our perspective? What if? Instead of asking what others can do for us, we ask what we could do for others. We see, the greatest fulfillment in life comes not from what we get, but from what we give. When you change the way you look at relationships, when you start seeing them as opportunities to add value to others, your whole world changes. You become a better friend, a better colleague, a better leader. And ironically, by focusing on giving rather than getting, you often end up receiving more than you ever imagined. Let's shift our focus to time. How do you look at time? Do you see it as a limited resource slipping away? Or do you see it as an opportunity to create, to grow, to make a difference? You see, time is the great equalizer. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference lies in how we choose to use it. People complain about not having enough time. But the truth is, we all have enough time for what we prioritize. So the question isn't whether you have enough time. The question is, don't change the way you look at time. Don't see it as something to kill or waste. See it as your most precious resource, as the raw material from which you can shape your destiny. When you change your perspective on time, you change your life. Well, let's talk about challenges. Most people look at challenges and see problems. They see reasons to quit, to give up, to settle for less. But what if we changed our perspective? What if we looked at challenges and saw opportunities for growth? No. You see, challenges are not sent to destroy you. They're sent to promote, increase, and strengthen you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to become better, stronger, wiser. It's a chance to develop skills you didn't know you had, to discover strengths you didn't realize you possessed. Beyond you today. Change the way you look at challenges. Don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? When you change your perspective on challenges, you transform obstacles, you transform obstacles. Let's talk about change for a moment. Many people fear change. They see it as a threat to their comfort, their security, their way of life. But what if we looked at change differently? What if instead of seeing it as something to fear, we saw it as something to embrace? You see, change is the only constant in life. The world is evolving at an unprecedented pace. Industries are being disrupted. New technologies are emerging. Societal norms are shifting. In this rapidly changing world, those who fear change will be left behind. But those who embrace change, who see it as an opportunity rather than a threat, will thrive. I want to challenge you today. Change the way you look at change. Don't see it as something happening to you. See it as something happening for you. Every change brings with it new opportunities, new possibilities, new paths to success. Your job is to be ready for them, to adapt, to grow. Now, let's talk about adversity. How do you look at the hardships in your life? Do you see them as punishments, as evidence that life is unfair? Or do you see them as challenges designed to make you stronger? You see, adversity is like a strong wind. It tears away from us all but the things that cannot be torn, so that we see ourselves as we really are. It's in the face of adversity that we discover who we truly are and what we're truly capable of. Don't change the way you look at adversity. Don't ask, why me? Ask what for. Don't see adversity as something that's happening to you. See that there's something that's happening for you. Every adversity carries within it the seeds of an equal or greater benefit. Your job is to find those seeds and nurture them. Let us shift our focus to success. How do you define success? Is it about accumulating wealth, achieving fame, gaining power? What if I told you that true success is not about what you gain, but about what you become? You see, many people chase success without ever defining what it means to them. They pursue society's definition of success, only to find that when they achieve it, they're still unfulfilled. But when you change the way you look at success, when you define it on your own terms, everything changes. True success is about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about growing, learning, and contributing. It's about living a life of purpose and meaning. It's about making a positive difference in the lives of others. I told you that. Okay, the way you look at success. Don't see it as a destination to reach. See it as a journey to embark upon. Don't measure your success by what you have. Measure it by the lives you touch, the growth you achieve, the value you add to the world. Now, let's talk about potential. Most people underestimate their potential. They look at themselves and see limitations, inadequacies, reasons why they can't achieve their dreams. But what if we change our perspective? What if we looked at ourselves and saw infinite possibilities? You see, you are capable of far more than you realize. You have talents and abilities that you haven't even discovered yet. You have potential that's waiting to be unlocked. But here's the catch. Your potential will always be dormant until you change the way you look at yourself. Challenge you today is change the way you look at potential. Don't see yourself as you are. See yourself as you could be. Don't focus on your limitations. Focus on your possibilities, because the truth is you will never outperform your self-image. When you change the way you look at yourself, you change what's possible for your life. Let's talk about fear for a moment. How you look at fear? Do you see it as a sign to retreat, to play it safe, to stay in your comfort zone? Or do you see it as a signal that you're about to grow? You see, fear is not your enemy. Fear is a natural response to stepping out of your comfort zone, to attempting something new and challenging. The presence of fear doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Often it means you're doing something right. Don't change the way you look at fear. Don't see it as a stop sign. See it as a go sign. Don't let it paralyze you. Let it energize you. Because on the other side of your fear is your growth, your success, your destiny. Now, let's shift our focus to mistake. Most people look at mistakes and see failure. They see reasons to feel ashamed, to give up, to stop trying. But what if we changed our perspective? What if we looked at mistakes and saw learning opportunities? We see mistakes are not failures. They're feedback. They're data points that show you what doesn't work, bringing you one step closer to what does work. Every mistake you make is a lesson learned, a skill developed, a strength discovered. Just you today. Change the way you look at mistakes. Don't beat yourself up over them. Learn from them. Don't try to hide them. Own them. Because the truth is, the person who never made a mistake never made anything. Your mistakes are not stumbling blocks. They're stepping stones on your path to. Let's talk about competition for a moment. How do you look at your competitors? Do you see them as enemies to be defeated, as obstacles in your path to success? What if I told you that your greatest competition isn't other people or other businesses? Your greatest competition is yourself. You see, true success isn't about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about constantly growing, constantly improving your own boundaries. So change the way you look at competition. Don't focus on beating others. Focus on beating your own best performance. Don't measure yourself against others. Measure yourself against your potential. Because when you compete against yourself, let's talk about criticism. Most people look at criticism and see attack. They see reasons to feel defensive, to retreat, to stop putting themselves out there. But what if we changed our perspective? What if we looked at criticism and saw opportunities for growth? You see, criticism, when given constructively, is a gift. It's feedback that can help you improve, grow, and become better. Even when criticism isn't constructive, it still provides valuable information. It shows you how others perceive you, giving you the opportunity to clarify, to improve. I want you to do, I challenge you, the way you look at criticism. Don't see it as an attack on who you are. See it as feedback on what you do. Don't let it discourage you. Let it motivate you, because the truth is, criticism is often a sign that you're making an impact. If you're not being criticized, you're probably not doing anything significant. Let's shift our focus. How do you look at the obstacles in your path? Do you see them as reasons to give up, to change direction, to settle for less? Or do you see them as opportunities to prove your determination, to showcase your problem-solving skills, to become stronger? No. You see, obstacles are not placed in your path to stop you. They're placed in your path to test you, to strengthen you, to prepare you for the next level. Every obstacle you overcome makes you better equipped to handle future. Action is the way you look at obstacles. Don't see them as stop signs. See them as go signs. Don't ask, why is this in my way? Ask, how can I use this to my advantage? Because the truth is, the obstacle is the way. The greatest growth often comes from overcoming your greatest challenges. No, let's talk about age. Whether you're young or old. How you look at your age profoundly impacts what you believe is possible for your life. Many young people see their youth as a limitation, believing they lack the experience or credibility to make a significant impact. Many older people see their age as a barrier, believing it's too late to start something new or pursue a dream. But what if we changed our perspective? What if we looked at age not as a limitation, but as an asset? If you're young, you'd have energy, fresh perspectives, and the ability to take risks. If you're older, you have wisdom, experience, and networks that can be leveraged. Let's go on, challenge you. Change the way you look at your age. Don't see it as a barrier. See it as a unique advantage. Don't let it limit what you believe is possible. Let it empower you to pursue your dreams regardless of the number of candles on your birthday cake. And let's talk about for a moment. How do you look at your work? Do you see it as a necessary evil, something you have to endure to pay the bills? Or do you see it as an opportunity to express your talents, to add value to others, to make a positive impact on the world? You see, work is not just about earning a living. It's about living your purpose. It's about using your unique gifts and talents to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. When you change the way you look at work, you change your entire experience of it. So change the way you look at your work. Don't see it as a job. See it as a calling. Don't focus on what you have to do. Focus on what you get to do. Because when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Now, let's shift our focus to setbacks. Most people look at setbacks and see failures. They see reasons to give up, to lose hope, to abandon their dreams. But what if we change our perspective? What if we looked at setbacks and saw setups for comebacks? Let's see, setbacks are not the end of the story. They're plot twists. They're opportunities for an inspiring turnaround. Every setback carries within it the seeds of an equal or greater comeback. Your job is to find those seeds and nurture them. Chance you to change the way you look at setbacks. Don't see them as the end. See them as a new beginning. Don't ask, why did this happen? Ask, how can I use this to come back stronger? Because the truth is, it's not how you fall that defines you. It's how you get back up. Let's talk about money for a moment. How do you look at money? Do you see it as the root of all evil or as a tool for positive change? Many view money with suspicion or fear. They see it as a source of greed, corruption, or conflict. But what if we changed our perspective? What if we looked at money as a neutral force? One that can be used for great good or great harm, depending on the heart of the person wielding it. You see, money is a medium of exchange. It's a representation of value. In itself, it's neither good nor bad. It's how we use it. How we relate to it, that gives it its character. When we change the way we look at money, we change our entire relationship with it. Think about this. Money can build hospitals that save lives. It can fund research that cures diseases. It can create businesses that provide jobs and lift communities out of poverty. It can support charities that make a real difference in the world. Money, when used wisely and with good intentions, can be a powerful force for positive change. But here's the key. Your relationship with money starts in your mind. If you see money as scarce, as something to hoard and fear losing, you'll never have enough. You'll always be chasing it, always be stressed about it. But if you see money as abundant, as something that flows through your life and can be used to create value for others, you open yourself up to greater financial possibilities. Don't you to do? Come on. Change the way you look at money. Don't see it as your master. See it as your servant. Don't focus on accumulating it for its own sake. Focus on using it to create value, to make a difference, to live your purpose. Because when you change your perspective on money, you change your financial destiny. Now let's talk about education. In today's rapidly changing world, how do you look at education? Do you see it as something that ends when you graduate from school or university? Or do you see it as a lifelong journey? You see, in this era of constant change and innovation, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is perhaps the most crucial skill you can develop. The knowledge and skills that are relevant today may be obsolete tomorrow. The jobs of the future may not even exist yet. So change the way you look at education. Don't see it as a phase of life that you complete. See it as a lifelong process. Don't limit your learning to formal institutions. Embrace every opportunity to learn from books, from experiences, from failures, from others. Because in a world where change is the only constant, the person who stops learning becomes obsolete. Let's shift our focus to health. How do you look at your health? Do you take it for granted until something goes wrong? Do you see taking care of your health as a chore, something you have to do? What if we change our perspective? What if we looked at health as our greatest wealth? You see, without good health, all other forms of success become meaningless. Your health is the foundation upon which you build every other aspect of your life. When you're healthy, you have the energy to pursue your dreams, the clarity of mind to make wise decisions, the stamina to overcome challenges. I challenge you today. All right? I'm saying the way you look at your health. Don't see it as something to worry about only when you're sick. See it as your most valuable asset, something to nurture and protect every day. Don't view healthy habits as restrictions. View them as investments in your future, in your ability to live your purpose fully. Now let's talk about technology. In this digital age, how do you look at technology? Do you see it as a necessary evil, something that's taking over our lives? Or do you see it as a powerful tool that can be harnessed to enhance our lives and achieve our goals? Let's see. Technology is neither good nor bad in itself. It's a tool, like any tool. Its value depends on how we use it. Technology can connect us with loved ones across the globe. It can help us work more efficiently, learn more effectively, and solve problems more creatively. But it's up to us to use it wisely. It's up to us to ensure that technology enhances our lives rather than controls them. So change the way you look at technology. Don't see it as your master. See it as your servant. Don't let it dictate your life. Use it intentionally to support. And let's shift our focus to time management. How do you look at managing your time? Do you see it as a constant struggle against the clock? As a battle to fit more and more into each day? What if we change our perspective? What if we looked at time management not as cramming more into our days? You see, effective time management isn't about doing more. It's about doing what's important. It's about aligning your use of time with your values and goals. When you change the way you look at time management, you change your entire approach to life. Don't you today? Change the way you look at time management. Don't see it as a way to do more. See it as a way to do what matters most. Don't Focus on being busy. Focus on being productive. Because at the end of your life, you won't remember how busy you were. You remember the moments that mattered, the goals you achieved, the difference you made. Let's talk about leadership. How you look at leadership? Do you see it as a position of power, a way to control others? Or do you see it as a responsibility, an opportunity to serve and empower others? Well, you see, true leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. It's not about making people follow you. It's about inspiring them to become the best versions of themselves. When you change the way you look at leadership, you change your entire approach to influencing others. Don't change the way you look at leadership. Don't see it as a destination to reach. See it as a journey of growth and service. Don't focus on what you can get from others. Focus on what you can give to others. Because the greatest leaders are those who empower others to become leaders themselves. Let's shift our focus. Naturality. In a world that often values conformity and routine, how do you look at creativity? Do you see it as a luxury, something reserved for artists and innovators? Or do you see it as an essential skill for thriving in the 21st century? You see, creativity isn't just about producing art or coming up with groundbreaking inventions. It's about thinking differently, solving problems innovatively, seeing connections where others see only chaos. In a world of rapid change and complex challenges, creativity is not just valuable. So I challenge you today. Change the way you look at creativity. Don't see it as something you either have or don't have. See it as a skill you can develop and strengthen. Don't limit it to certain areas of your life. Embrace creativity in everything you do. In your work, your relationships, your personal growth. Because when you tap into your creativity, you unlock your full potential to make a unique contribution to the world. Let's talk about diversity. In our increasingly interconnected world, how do you look at diversity? Do you see it as a challenge to be managed, as a source of conflict, or do you see it as a strength to be leveraged, as a source of innovation and growth? You see, diversity isn't just about ticking boxes or meeting quotas. It's about bringing together different perspectives, experiences, and ideas. It's about creating environments where everyone can contribute their unique talents and viewpoints. When we change the way we look at diversity, we change our entire approach. Change the way you look at diversity. Don't see it as a problem to solve. See it as an opportunity to enrich your life and work. Don't focus on our differences as sources of division. Focus on them as sources of strength and innovation. Because in our diverse world, the ability to understand, appreciate, and leverage differences is key to success and growth. Let's shift our focus to failure. How do you look at failure? Do you see it as the end of the road, as proof that you're not good enough? Or do you see it as a necessary part of the journey to success? You see, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every innovation was preceded by numerous failures. The most successful people in history are often those who failed the most because they were willing to try, to take risks, to learn from their mistakes and keep going. I want you to die as change the way you look. Don't see it as a reason to give up. See it as a reason to grow up. Don't focus on the pain of failure. Focus on the lessons it teaches you. Because when you change your perspective on failure, you change your relationship with success. Now, let's talk about change. In our rapidly evolving world, how do you look at change? Do you see it as a threat to your comfort and security? Or do you see it as an opportunity for growth and new possibilities? You don't see change is the only constant in life. The road is transforming at an unprecedented pace. Industries are being disrupted. New technologies are emerging. Societal norms are shifting. In this environment, resistance to change is not just futile. It's detrimental to your growth and success. Don't change the way you look at change. Don't see it as something happening to you. See it as something happening for you. Don't focus on what you might lose. Focus on what you might gain. Because when you embrace change, you open yourself up to new opportunities, new growth, new versions of yourself. So let's shift our focus to challenges. How do you look at the challenges in your life? Do you see them as unfair burdens, as reasons to complain or give up? Or do you see them as opportunities to grow stronger, to develop new skills, to prove what you're capable of? You see, challenges are not sent to destroy you. They're sent to promote, increase, and strengthen you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to become better, stronger, wiser. It's a chance to develop skills you didn't know you had, to discover strengths you didn't realize you possessed. I challenge you. Change the way you look at challenges. Don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? When you change your perspective on challenges, you transform obstacles into opportunities. And now let's talk about success. How do you define success? Is it about accumulating wealth, achieving fame, gaining power? What if I told you that true success is not about what you gain, but about what you become? You see, many people chase success without ever defining what it means to them. They pursue society's definition of success, only to find that when they achieve it, they're still unfulfilled. But when you change the way you look at success, when you define it on your own terms, everything changes. True success is about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about growing, learning, and contributing. It's about living a life of purpose and meaning. It's about making a positive difference in the lives of others. They change the way you look at success. Don't see it as a destination to reach. See it as a journey to embark upon. Don't measure your success by what you have. Measure it by the lives you touch, the growth you achieve, the value you add to the world. So in conclusion, remember this. The way you look at things determines how those things affect your life. Your perspective shapes your reality. So I challenge you today. Look for the opportunity in every difficulty. Look for the lesson in every failure. Look for the possibility in every challenge. Because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And when you change your perspective, you change your life. The power to transform your life doesn't lie in changing your circumstances. It lies in changing how you perceive and respond to those circumstances. So go forth with new eyes. You know? See your world not just as it is, but as it could be. See yourself not just as you are, but as you could become. Because when you change the way you look at things, you unleash your potential to create the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, you have the power to choose your perspective. Choose wisely, for your perspective will shape your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. The world is waiting for you to see it differently, to bring your unique perspective to bear on its challenges and opportunities. Well, will you accept this challenge? Will you commit to changing the way you look at things? The choice is yours. And that choice could be the beginning of a whole new chapter in your life story. Yes, thank you.
Hey there, welcome to my channel Music Library BD. Today I speak change the way you look at things. Nourship a day capacizes a boat. Difference fills the else and your life right now. Facing what challenges are you surmountable moment and consider what if opportunities in disguise and come back Actually, you see, success is not about avoiding and mindset its own solution. And are you looking for it? The question, let me share a story. Back in my day, I knew a young man during economic. He had a family to support,